Hey, you're listening to 92.5 The Bear. Evan here in the studio.
Jihad.
We're going to be talking about the NFL divisional playoffs for this Saturday and Sunday's games. In the NFC, you have the Seahawks and the Falcons playing in Atlanta. This is going to be a high-octane match. The Falcons haven't won a playoff game in years, but they've always had really good regular seasons. They're the number one seed in the NFC, but the Seahawks are pretty hot, but they're a lot better at home than they're on the road. So who do you have in this game, Jihad?
I think I'll take the Seahawks because the Falcons really struggle on defense, and the Seahawks, their run game is unstoppable with Marshawn Lynch, man. You eat those Skittles, man. And those Falcons, they can't stop the run right now. Yeah, so I guess I have to go with the Seahawks. And an upset, though. Upset.
I'll definitely take the Seahawks over the Falcons. I do think the Falcons are a good team, but I don't think they're ready to make a Super Bowl run. The Seahawks, in my eyes, they are the most diverse team in the NFC. They have great defense, including especially their secondary with Richard Sherman at corner. And then their running back, Marshawn Lynch, is really good. This kid, Russell Wilson's really impressive from Wisconsin.
Really good.
So, yeah, and the other NFC game, we have a lot of Bay Area fans here in Merced. The Green Bay Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. This game is going to be interesting. In my opinion, it'll be the closest game of the week.
Yeah.
Who do you have in this game, Jihad?
You know what? San Francisco 49er fans are going to hate me for this, but I have to go with the Packers, you know. They have I know the San Francisco 49ers have experience, too, from last year and how they lost that last game. But I don't think Colin Kaepernick, this is his first game right now, right? Because they had a bye, right?
Game.
I don't think he's ready for it yet. And, you know, I think they messed up their team chemistry when they put in Colin Kaepernick.
Well, I like Colin Kaepernick. He's from Turlock, California, which is really cool. He's definitely a good offensive playmaker. But, yeah, he struggled at times, especially against the St. Louis Rams a couple weeks back in Week 14, I believe. But, yeah, anyways, I have the Packers as well in this game. It's a really close one. But Aaron Rodgers, when he's trying, he does really well. And they have a lot of key injuries, injured players that are coming back, including Jordy Nelson at wide receiver. And then Randall Cobb's had a great year. I think their pass game is much better than the Niners. The Niners are much better at the run, though, with Frank Gore. The Packers' run game is not at all that good.
Yeah.
Their fullback, defensively, I think the Niners have the edge, too. But I don't know. The Niners' corners, I don't think they'll be able to stop the pass with Aaron Rodgers. Too many deep threats. But, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing them prove me wrong. But we'll see what happens. It would be exciting to see Seahawks and Niners match up in the NFC.
Yep.
NFC West divisional matchup. So that's all we have for the NFL divisional playoffs in the NFC. Stay tuned for the AFC one. You're listening to 92.5 The Bear. All right, we're back. You're listening to 92.5 The Bear. Evan inside the studio here with
Jihad right here.
We just finished talking about the NFC playoffs on the last break. This time we're going to be talking about the AFC in the NFL. The divisional playoffs are this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. A lot of exciting matchups. The number one matchup here in the AFC is the Texans and the New England Patriots. Who do you have in this game, Jihad?
You know, the Patriots beat the Texans pretty bad the last time they played. I think it was like 44-21 or something like that.
42-14.
Yeah, something like that. The Texans might put up a fight, but I think the Patriots come out. I think it's going to be like 35-21 Patriots.
Wow.
So
yeah, the Patriots are playing in Foxborough, Massachusetts, if you don't know where that is. The Texans are a pretty solid team, but towards the end of the season they started falling apart. I think it'll be a lot closer than their first matchup. Last time the Patriots blew them out. I think the Texans will keep it close, like maybe within 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I definitely think the Patriots will win just because of their past being so good. And if Tom Brady wins this game, he'll be the most winningest quarterback in NFL history. He'll have 17 playoff wins. He'll pass up Joe Montana. I know that'll make most United fans sad. Yeah, he's had a great career, and it's just getting going. I mean, this guy's still...
He's 35. He's
35.
You know how these
quarterbacks.
45.
You never know.
These quarterbacks stay in forever.
I have the Patriots winning in a close one. Jihad has Patriots in a blowout. We'll see what happens. For this next game, this is interesting because this could be Ray Lewis's last game in the NFL, and it's Peyton Manning's first playoff game from coming back. So it's the Baltimore Ravens going into Denver. It's really hard to play in the Mile High City because of the altitude. A lot of people get altitude sickness, or their breathing gets messed up. It's really hard for players to play in Denver. What are your thoughts on this game?
Denver Broncos, Ravens. Okay. I really want Ray Lewis to win. I want him to get to the Super Bowl and actually win it for his last hurrah, Yeah,
that'd be nice.
But the Broncos, how many games did they win straight? They didn't lose a game.
They won 11 games in a row, or maybe
11
12.
games in a row. I'm not going to even... Broncos easily, because Joe Flacco's been doing... I know he won last week, but he's still not ready. Still not
I
ready.
agree. Joe Flacco this is his 5th year in a row of winning at least a playoff game. So he came into the league 5 years ago as a rookie, and he's won at least one playoff game for every season of his career, which is incredible. I don't think they have a shot at a Super Bowl, though. Not at all. But, Ray Rice is good, and their defense is going to be hyped. I think they're going to be playing high octane because of Ray Lewis. But, yeah, I say the Broncos in a blowout as well. I said the Seahawks are the most diverse NFC team. I think the Broncos are the most diverse AFC team because they have a really good defense with Elvis Dumervil, Von Miller, their quarterback, of course, Peyton Manning. Willis McGahee, I don't know if he'll be playing in this game. It might be Noshawn Moreno, but either way, I think the Broncos definitely have the receivers to do it. So yeah, I have the Broncos in a blowout. So does Jihad. This has been our AFC NFL divisional matchups. You're listening to 92.5 The Bear. Hi, Evan here in the studio. I got Jihad here with me.
Yep, what's up?
We're talking about the MLB now. We were talking about the NFL earlier. We are talking about how 0 players got inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. What are your thoughts on that, Jihad?
That's crazy. This is only the second time since the second time in the last 40 years. Last time since 1996 that nobody's inducted into the Hall of Fame. You know how that was the steroids era, so big deal. But
yeah,
to not elect anybody to the Hall of Fame, it's just like that's like saying, oh, you're an American, you get to vote in the presidency, but you don't vote at all. It's like you don't want
it's like voting. It's like having a ballot and then having no winner.
I know.
That's kind of interesting as well. I agree with you. I think they should at least make a rule to induct at least 1 or 2 players every year. I know they came from the steroid era, but some of these players had no relation to steroids, but they got docked for it simply for playing in that era when there was a lot of steroids. Craig Biggio had one of only 5 players to have over 3,000 hits. He played for the Houston Astros back when the Astros were good when they had Lance Berkman and Jeff Bagwell.
Yeah.
The MLB, 75% of voters have to induct someone into the Hall of Fame for them to make it. Yeah. Which I think is a good idea because they really have to earn it. It just shows to you how hard it is to make it to the Hall of Fame as an MLB player or any sports player for that matter.
In Craig Biggio, he had 69%, so I think he's definitely going to get in next year easily. Yeah,
I hope he gets in next year. There's some other great players like Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds for you Giants fans, but as you know, most of them were related to steroid use.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens next year. Hopefully they... Oh, what's that, Jihad?
Oh, yeah, just to let you guys know, they are inducting people. It's not like they're not inducting players, though. There's a manager who they died over 70 years ago, though. There's a manager and I don't know his name. There's an umpire and a general manager that get inducted, but they're all dead, so you don't really see them in person, you know.
Yeah, so. I know. Well, us as the fans, we usually look more at the players, but yeah, I agree with you. General managers, owners, umpires, they all have a big impact on the game, more than we understand. All right, good point there, and we'll see what happens with the MLB. I'm looking forward to this next season. Go A's.
Go Marlins.
All right, you're listening to 92.5 The Bear. Have a good one. All right, Evan here in the studio.
Jihad here.
We've been talking about sports for most of this hour. We're having sort of a topics show. Sports is really big right now because of playoffs and all that. We'll be covering other topics as well, but right now we've got the NHL. The lockout finally ended. Gary Bettman finally decided to, get his mind straight, and he apologized to all the fans yesterday on national TV. And we were thinking there's going to be a 48-game season, so I wanted to know who your top 5 teams were for having the best chance to win the Stanley Cup next year and reasons why.
I think the San Jose Sharks are the number 1 team. You know, they have great offense. They have Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, all those great guys. It's just they have everybody can score.
Depth.
They have depth like crazy. And
Go Sharks.
Yeah, go Sharks, I guess. My second team will probably be the LA Kings, defending champions, because I always got to put a defending champion at least in the top 5.
Yeah, they do have a good team. Yeah, especially with Jonathan Quick at goalie.
Yeah. My number 3 team will Pittsburgh Penguins. They have Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, even though they traded Jordan Staal, which I think that was a stupid move, even though he didn't want to sign. But they still have a good team. 4th team is St. Louis Blues, which really surprised a lot of people last year. Nobody expected them to do really good.
Yeah, they have no real superstars, but they have the most balanced team. Everyone on their team contributes to winning. and so that makes them good.
Yeah, and I have to put my team, the Florida Panthers. They won their first, division since 2000. So, I got to put them in the top 5.
Yeah, they're definitely on the map now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. For number 1, I'm a San Jose Sharks fan, so, this could be a little biased, but I have the San Jose Sharks as my number 1 team. They've been choking in the playoffs for a long time, but I think they really do have depth. I think if they get one huge free agent signing, they might have that edge to win. 2 team is the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have tremendous goal scorers on their team. Sidney Crosby doesn't get hurt again. He's always hurt. He's kind of like the Derrick Rose of the NHL.
Yeah.
But at number 3, I also have the St. Louis Blues because of their depth and how everyone contributes. And number 4, I have the Minnesota Wild. They got Zach Parise in the offseason and Dan Sutter from the Nashville Predators. I think the Minnesota Wild will be a threat for this upcoming year. And then number 5, I have the Chicago Blackhawks. They have a great one line. They have Jonathan Taves, Patrick Kane, and Patrick Sharp.
I mean, the 2 Patricks, man, right there.
Yeah, they're a good team. And Corey Crawford in at goalie's pretty good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all we have today for the NHL. All right. So hopefully there's a 48-game season. If there's not, we'll have to talk about NHL next year. Evan and Jihad inside the studio. You're listening to 92.5 The Bear.